Today's Monday, June 22nd. They're going to be reading 2 Kings 16, 17.
Wow, that was really fast. We're going to be reading what? What was that again?
2 Kings 16, 17.
All right.
And Monday, June 22nd.
Yes, it's Monday, June 22nd.
Bob, there was Father's Day.
It was Father's Day.
Father's Day.
But
Today,
now
now.
we're reading Mondays.
Yeah.
Are you ready? Yes? Do we have a high five? Thumbs up? Something? Yes? All right. Oh, high five. Okay. Matthew? You're, oh, fist bump. Good job. Oh, we have another fist bump over there. Is this girl power or is this fist bump? Oh, and a high five. There we go. 16 and 17. So we're right here. Ahaz,
King of Judah. In the 17th year of Pekah, son of Remaliah, Ahaz, son of Jotham, king of Judah, became king. Ahaz was 20 years old when he became king, and he reigned for 16 years in Jerusalem. He did not do what was right in the sight of the Lord his God, like David his father. He walked in the way of the kings of Israel, and even made his son pass through the fire, according to the abominations of the nations, whom the Lord disposed before the children of Israel. He sacrificed and made offerings on the high places, on the hills, and under every green tree. Then Rezin, king of Aram, and Pekah, son of Remaliah, king of Israel, came up to Jerusalem to battle. And they besieged Ahaz, but could not subdue him. At that time, Rezin, king of Aram, recovered Elath for Aram, and expelled the Judeans from Elath. The Edomites came to Elath and lived there to this day. So Ahaz sent messengers to Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, saying, I am your servant and your son. Come up and save me from the hand of the king of Aram and from the hand of the king of Israel, who are rising up against me. Then Ahaz took the silver and the gold that was found in the house of the Lord and in the treasures of the king's house, and sent a present to the king of Assyria. So the king of Assyria listened to him. The king of Assyria went up to Damascus, captured it, and exiled the people to Kir, and killed Rezin. Then King Ahaz went to Damascus to meet Tiglath-Pileser, king of Assyria, and saw an altar that was in Damascus. King Ahaz sent to Uriah the priest the pattern of altar and model of it, according to the manner of its construction. Uriah the priest built an altar according to all the king Ahaz had sent from Damascus. Thus Uriah the priest worked until King Ahaz came from Damascus. When the king came back from Damascus and saw the altar, the king approached the altar and made offerings on it. He offered his burnt offering and his grain offering, poured out his libations, and sprinkled the blood of his peace offering upon the altar. And the bronze altar that was before the Lord had moved from the front of the house, from between the altar and the house of the Lord. He put it on the north side of the new altar. Then King Ahaz commanded Uriah the priest upon the great altar offer the morning burnt offering, the evening grain offering, the king's burnt offering, and his grain offering with the burnt offering of all the people of the land, their grain offering, and their libations. Sprinkle on it all the blood of the burnt offering and all the blood of the sacrifice, and the bronze altar will be for me to inquire by. So Uriah the priest did everything that King Ahaz commanded. King Ahaz cut off the bases of the stands and removed the basin from them. He took down the sea from off the bronze oxen that were under it and put it on the stone pavement. The structure for the Sabbath that day they had built on the house, and the king's outer entrance he removed from the house of the Lord for the king of Assyria. Now the rest of the deeds of Ahaz that he did, are they not written in the book of the annals of the kings of Judah? Ahaz slept with his fathers and was buried with his fathers in the city of David. Then Hezekiah his son reigned in his place. Hosea king of Israel. In the 12th year of Ahaz, king of Judah, Hosea, son of Elah, became king in Samaria over Israel for 9 years. He did evil in the sight of the Lord, not only as the kings of Israel who were before him. Shalmaneser, king of Assyria, came up against him. Hosea became his servant and gave him gifts, but the king of Assyria found conspiracy in Hosea, for he had sent messengers to so king of Egypt, and offered up no gift to the king of Assyria as he had done year by year. So the king of Assyria detained him and then put him in prison. Israel exiled to Assyria. Then the king of Assyria went throughout all the land, went up to Samaria, and besieged it for 3 years. In the 9th year of Hosea, the king of Assyria seized Samaria and exiled Israel to Assyria. He put them in Halah and Habor by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. This happened because the children of Israel had sinned against the Lord their God, who had brought them up from the land of Egypt, from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt. They had feared other gods, and walked in the statutes of the nations, whom the Lord dispossessed before the children of Israel, and walked in the statutes which the kings of Israel had made. The children of Israel ascribed things to the Lord their God that were not so, and they built for themselves high places in all their cities, from the watchtower to the fortified city. They set up standing stones and Asherah poles on every high hill and under every green tree. There they burned incense on all the high places, as the nations did, whom the Lord had carried away before him. And they did wicked things to provoke the Lord to anger, for they served idols, of which the Lord had said to them, "You shall not do this thing." But the Lord warned Israel and Judah by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, "Turn from their evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets." But they would not listen. They stiffened their necks, like the neck of their fathers who did not believe in the Lord their God. They rejected his statutes and his covenant, and he had made with his fathers, and the decrees he had given them. They followed idols and became idolaters, and followed the surrounding nations, concerning whom the Lord commanded them, and they should not do like them. They forsook all the commandments of the Lord their God, made themselves cast images, 2 calves, made an Asherah pole, worshipped all the host of heaven, and served Baal. They caused their sons and daughters to pass through the fire, used divination and omens, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Lord to anger him. Therefore the Lord was very angry with Israel, and removed them from his presence. None remained except the tribe of Judah. Judah also did not keep the commandments of the Lord their God, but walked in the statutes of Israel which they made. The Lord rejected all the seed of Israel, afflicted them, and gave them into the hand of the plunderers, until he had cast them out from his presence. For he had torn Israel from the house of David, and they had made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. Jeroboam diverted Israel from following the Lord, and caused them to sin greatly. For the children of Israel walked in all sins which Jeroboam committed. They did not turn aside from them, until the Lord removed Israel from his presence, as he had said by his servants the prophets. So Israel was exiled from the land to Assyria until this day. Assyria resettles Samaria. Then the king of Assyria brought people from Babylon, Cutheth, Ava, Hamath, and Sepharvaim, and put them into the cities of Samaria instead of the children of Israel. They possessed Samaria and lived in its cities. Right at the beginning of their settling there, they did not fear the Lord. So the Lord sent lions among them, and they killed some of them. So they said to the king of Assyria, "The nations which you have exiled and settled in the cities of Samaria do not know the law of God of the land. Therefore he has sent lions among them. They are killing them because they do not know the requirements of the God of the land." Then the king of Assyria commanded, "Escort back one of the priests whom you exiled from there, and let them go and dwell there. Let them teach them the law of God of the land." And then one of the priests whom they had exiled from Samaria came and lived in Bethel. He taught them how they should fear the Lord. But each nation was making its own gods, and they put them in the house of the high places that the people of Samaria had made, each nation in the cities where they were living. The men of Babylon made Succoth, Benoth, and the men of Cuthah made Nergal. The men of Hamath made Ashima. The Avites made Nibhaz and Tartak. The Sepharvites were burning their children in fire to Adremelech and Nemelech, the gods of Sepharvaim. They feared the Lord and made from amongst themselves priests of the high places, who were working for them in the houses of the high places. They feared the Lord, and they were serving their own gods after the manner of the nations whom they exiled from them. To this day they continue to practice their former customs. They do not fear the Lord, nor are they doing according to the statutes, requirements, the law, or commandment that the Lord commanded the children of Jacob, whom he named Israel. The Lord had made a covenant and commanded them, saying, You shall not fear other gods, nor bow yourselves to them. You shall not serve them or sacrifice to them. Rather, the Lord, who brought you out of the land of Egypt with great power and outstretched arm, him you shall fear, to him you shall bow down, and to him you shall sacrifice. The statutes, the ordinances, the law, and the commandment which he wrote for you, you shall observe to do forever, and you shall not fear other gods. The covenant that I made with you, you shall not forget. You shall not fear other gods. Rather, the Lord your God you shall fear, and he will deliver you from the hand of all your enemies. But they did not listen. Rather, they were practicing their former customs. So these nations feared the Lord and were serving their carved images, both their children and their grandchildren, as their fathers did, and so they are doing to this day. 2 Kings 16 and 17.
Bye, have a great day. Please subscribe. Hope you like this video. Please subscribe.
Damn it.